Welcome to Tabletop. My name is Nick, and I think that fudging dice rolls is totally okay.
Hey, it's me, Franco, and rolling for initiative sucks.
I'm Daniel, and I think you should modify your first level characters as much as you want.
And I'm Shade, and if your TTRPG hasn't evolved into a LARP, you've done it wrong.
And we all host Tabletopped, a TTRPG podcast about all things games and storytelling.
And sometimes we have game designers, professional researchers, and even the occasional owlbear.
If this interests you, listen to Tabletop every Monday wherever you get your podcasts. Tabletop is a proud member of the Helios Network.
Thank you for joining us wherever you are. This podcast episode is brought to you by the Old Ways Actual Play team. This actual play uses the Mage the Ascension 20th anniversary rules by Onyx Path Publishing. This actual play is performed by adults and contains adult themes. Our World of Darkness is intended for adults. Listeners should pay close attention to all listed content warnings. All content, including names, places, events, companies, and etc., which may bear resemblance to entities living or dead, is strictly coincidental. My name is Michael Diamond, and for tonight's game, I will be your storyteller. Thank you for joining us again on another episode of the Old Ways Podcast. I'm your storyteller, Michael Diamond. My pronouns are he, him, and we are back with our Mage, the Ascension of Babylon series. For the Old Ways Podcast, we want to welcome you in, listener, Patreon supporter, perhaps YouTube viewer, and even those of you in our streaming Twitch audience. And so at the top of the show, as we like to do, we like to especially thank our Patreon supporters. We like to make sure that they have a warm spot to nestle up with, and you will hear from one of them very shortly. And so we'll get right to introductions then to my right.
Hi, I'm Allie, and I play Kayleigh Hannah Godfrey. And there was a big shock and a seemingly very angry lady.
Yes, that did translate fairly well. To Kayleigh's right.
This is Lecco playing Dante Maxim Vargas Bailey, who has so many questions and not nearly enough answers.
And accompanying Dante.
Hi, I'm Bunny. My pronouns are she, her, and I play Dante's tutor, hoping to kind of keep his pieces together because he seems on the verge of breaking.
Yes, indeed. At the end of the table.
This is Jake playing Oliver Devereaux, and it just got weird. Yeah.
I agree with you. It did just totally get weird. And to Devereaux's right.
Hi, this is James, and I'll be playing Adam Harrison. And did anyone else hear that or see that? Just me? No? Okay.
Probably just you. Yeah. And as a special guest.
Hi, I'm Skip. I'm the player to be named later.
Hey, Skip. Thanks for joining us. Skip, one of our fantastic backers, is joining us to play a special character, which all of our mages will certainly love and enjoy. So we're going to raise the curtain tonight on the same evening that we left it. So a couple things have become really, really clear. And the thing that has become clear to all of you is that something has changed fundamentally about the space around you. As many of you exited the hotel, going to ground floors, trying to find a way out, some of you faster, far, far faster than others, fled the hotel, only to accompany things in dressing rooms, only accompany things to find things in elevators. The city feels strangely tense. The sky is a shade at sunset and beyond into twilight that you're not familiar with. You can't really place what color it is, Oliver. A purple? You can see that there's this cloud of steam that rises off the sphere in the distance. As we would remember from previous episodes, the sphere is rather large. And so you can see it from a great distance, even on the ground. And there's this swirling blue and white marble-esque image that's moving back and forth on its surface. And above it, there seems to be some sort of clinging perspiration or cloud. And I wonder, after exiting the Wynn, what are you planning on doing?
Well, standing on I believe I was outside with Kayleigh, right? Now that I feel like I can breathe again, and I don't see anything coming out of any windows, mirrors, or spheres right at this second, right?
Right.
But I will look to Kayleigh, and I will ask, look, I don't really know what to make of all this. I just had the best show of my life, and it doesn't really seem to matter anymore. Everything that I did, everything I've done, brought me to this moment, only to have it shattered by what I just saw. I don't know what to do. I know who I want to ask. And I know that after hearing what Oliver has said and what Tudor has said, I feel like I need answers, and I'm not going to find them here. I'll go alone if I have to, but I don't want to.
I'll go with you, if you want.
I need to talk to the people that hired me.
Okay.
You met Susan, I believe.
Briefly.
I'll reach out to her a bit later, but there's someone else I want to talk to. The fellow that recruited me. Can we walk? We're going to walk away from the Wynn, if that's okay. This place, I'm done with the Wynn.
Yeah.
I'm still wearing my performer clothing. Like, I haven't even changed yet.
Do you want a drink?
No.
Okay.
No. Goodness, I appreciate it, but no. I check my bag, and I make sure that Sophie's in there.
She is. She's curled up at one portion of the bag. She looks almost sleepy.
I need somewhere to get changed. My place is a little far from here. Do you stay nearby?
I don't think I'm nearby, right?
Not terribly nearby, no.
Oh, how far is it?
15 or 20 minutes, probably.
Oh, like by car? Like, you have a car? Can we go there?
Yeah, I'll flag down or I'll order an Uber since I came with Adam.
You pick up your phone to order the Uber, and your phone is ringing.
Oh, okay. Who is it?
It's a number you recognize, not a personal number, but a business number. It's the church.
Oh. Give me 1 second. Okay, Dante. This is not...
Sure. Yeah.
This is not what I expected. And I'll answer the phone in front of him. With how shaken he is, I don't really want to leave him alone.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Kayleigh, you hear Father Price's voice on the other side.
Yes, Father. How can I help you this evening?
I'm actually interested in helping you. Are you on the strip?
Yes.
You should leave. Come to the church.
I'll have company with me.
Perfectly fine.
Okay. And is there a place for him to be able to change comfortably?
Certainly.
Okay. Then I will be there as soon as I can.
Very good.
And I'll hang up the phone and I will get that car.
Yep. Two words. Surge pricing.
Oh, that's fine. I have enough in my account right now that that's not an issue. So, Dante, instead of going back to my place, I'm going to take you to my church. The Father requested my presence, and I would prefer to have you there, and there will be a place for you to change.
Sure. Yeah, church. Yeah, church sounds like a great place to be, right? So, yep, I crossed myself. Sounds good.
Okay.
All
right. So I want to know from Adam and Oliver, what are you doing after things seem to disperse at the Wynn? Like, I know that you were leaving and you were trying to find them, but in the commotion, you're just not able to. You're not able to. It's hundreds of people, if not more, fleeing the hotel.
Look over at Oliver. I'm lost, man. I hate crowds, and this is a scared crowd.
Yeah, yes. Get to your car.
The IQ plummets.
Let's get your car and get somewhere less congested.
Right. Head to the beige Buick, and
you head to parking. off-site parking, which in Vegas means, a few blocks.
A few blocks.
Right.
Yeah.
After getting to the Buick.
I don't know. My place doesn't seem particularly safe. There is less than zero security, and the guy next door, he melted. So, I mean...
we can't really go to my place because I already got in trouble for having you there.
Yeah, let's get a drink.
Yeah.
Find a nearby bar for the moment.
That's not hard at all.
We'll figure out where they went. We'll send them a text or something.
Yeah, yep. In fact, I'll do that while we're driving.
Okay. You can text Dante or Kayleigh?
I'll text Dante first.
Okay. So in the Uber, Dante, your phone chirps or vibrates.
Okay. Well, it's Oliver. I guess they made it out of the room okay.
Okay. Do you want to tell them where we're headed, or do you want to lay low for right now?
No, that's fine. I'll just call. I'll just hit the call button.
Yeah, Oliver, your phone rings and you're going to have to take a phone call.
Why would somebody call? You know what?
What is this, the Middle Ages?
Hello.
Hey, you guys okay?
Oh, yeah, we're fine. You guys okay?
That's such a tricky question.
Did you make it out?
Nothing happened in that room, right? Like y'all are... Should she come out?
No, I don't think so. I don't know what that was, but you made it out, right?
Yeah. We're in a Uber right now. Headed. We're gonna go find God.
What?
I'm kidding. We're just going to some church. Kayleigh knows. I need to get out of these clothes, and I just wanted to get off the street.
Church?
Yeah, it's a church, right? It's a church. I look to Kayleigh. Church. Yeah, it's a church.
It's not like a name of a bar or something, is it? It's like an actual church.
Do they have alcohol there?
Only communion wine.
Okay, so it's a Catholic church. So yes, there's some alcohol there. It's probably pretty light though. I don't think it's a bar, man. I think it's church.
I don't understand.
Kayleigh goes to church. She's taking me with her because we want to feel safe, I guess. And she knows somebody there. That's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah,
we're going to a bar.
Okay.
I mean, unless
they're going to a bar.
Hey, Adam.
Hold on. I put it on speakerphone. Okay, the Uber driver can hear you now.
Hey, Adam, do you want to go to church or you want to go to a bar?
This is a trick question, right?
Is there a bar near the church?
What kind of church is it?
It's a Catholic church.
There is definitely a bar nearby. Just give me the address.
It's Vegas. There's probably also a pawn shop. And where are we going? Here you go. I hand her my
gallery
phone.
with Velvet Elvises as well.
Like this, I literally just got this thing a few days ago here, and I will hand Kayleigh my phone.
So I will hesitantly, because I feel like there's more of a connection between me and Dante right now than with Oliver and Adam. So I will hesitantly, like on my phone, find a bar that's still like 4 or 5 miles away from the church and text that address over to them.
Okay. Text them the address to a bar.
Okay, here's the address.
Okay. So, Skip, you have been to church several times in your illustrious lifetime. You have worked often with Father Solomon Price, really on a couple of different levels. One is, as a Catholic priest, he does serve a role when it comes to some of the business partners you work with, given their religious tendencies. And also, he and the church sit on what are effectively a fairly powerful node inside Las Vegas. And so lots of different folks come to communion for all sorts of reasons. Some of them are there to get what they can from the nearby node, with, of course, his Well, his flavor of quintessence, right? Very specific type. Tonight has not been what you would term an average night. You saw in the distance from where you were this situation happen. You saw in detail the energy shift around the sphere in a way you'd previously not seen. You heard the scream of this feminine voice, this wail that goes on. This is rage that you heard. You watched the colorations and the energy that came off of it. And you got very concerned for what it meant for where you live. Because you're not too terribly far from where that sphere is at. It isn't long after that incident that Father Price reaches out to you and says, well, I wouldn't normally ask others to come out of concern for the church. I am concerned for the city. And there are many fledgling mages that do not understand what this might be. I would like your help in making sure that if there are people wounded, that we can help them.
Absolutely, Father. I will be there as quickly as I can. I saw what happened. I've never seen anything of the like. I'm glad that you reached out to me. I will be there momentarily.
So you arrived not but maybe 15 or so minutes later. Father Price is, I guess, between duties for the church. The church is mostly empty, given the time of night. It's, far past now at this point, twilight and evening, and is sort of stretched into night. And the church, like many Catholic churches, are fairly empty. There are many candles lit. There's lighting for the actual sanctuary, and he sits on a pew near the front, not in the front, but near the front. And he seems to be talking with a young woman there.
Robbie will walk up to the cross, do the cross as he normally would when he would come into a church. And then he'll kind of back away a little bit and let the father finish his conversation, not wanting to butt in at all.
Sure. They wrap up their conversation shortly thereafter, and she walks out of the church and then out back onto the street. And he stands up and he walks across and extends his hand to you and thanks for coming.
Absolutely, Father. What has happened? I'm still kind of shocked about it.
I believe there may have been a breach. I've been consulting various texts ever since I felt the energy. He sort of shudders. I don't believe this is gratuitous at all. But I do have a fairly young, awakened mind coming. Her name is Kayleigh, and she's part of the congregation here off and on. She only very recently awoke, and so she's, and anyone she might be with are awake like we are, but perhaps we should be cautious about what we do around them.
So they have not been knowledgeable very long, I'm assuming.
Well, there are many around the city who might seek to instruct them, but there are an awful lot of voices here for an awful lot of factions. I don't think that they need to be turned in any one specific way. The voice calls to us all in a different way. And I think that it's important that we adhere to it, provided that that voice is not corrupted then we should let them figure their own paths.
I did notice the change recently, so I was curious as to what the result was. But if you say that there are a few that have just been awoken, that kind of makes sense to me now. Do you know if they're injured?
I don't, but I believe we'll find out shortly. You and the father can both react to hearing like the front doors of the church open. Kayleigh, you and Dante arrive.
And I will see Father Price. I will greet him. Father Price, I don't know exactly why you wanted me here, but this is my friend Dante. Where can he go get changed at?
Yeah, so for both your benefits, Father Price is a man in his 50s. He wears a Catholic priest uniform. He is standing next to a man who is, I think, slightly over 6 foot tall. But I would be happy if Skip would explain or explain what Robbie looks like by himself.
Robbie is about 30 years old. He stands 6'3", weighs around 235, 240. Buzz cut red hair and green eyes, clean shaven. He's dressed kind of casual clothes, a t-shirt, jeans, but he put on a nice jacket. And he carries like a small medical bag in his left hand. And he's just kind of eyeing both of you as you walk up, just a kind of a tertiary look to make sure you're not bleeding or anything like that.
Well, currently Dante is wearing an extraordinary amount of makeup and a leotard?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, fully dressed like a mink, right?
Yes. Complete with tail, and he would have his running shoes on right now. So like everything's kind of offset by, some white sneakers.
It doesn't look like Father Price pays the outfit any mind at all. He says, if you'll go there, he points to one side of the cathedral. There's a room you can get changed in.
Thank you. Father Price, right?
Yes, he extends his hand.
Just take his hand and shake it. And you are? Point to the other fellow.
I'm sorry please forgive me for not introducing myself. I'm Dr. Robert Johnson. You can call me Robbie. I'm a friend of the father. He was concerned that there may be some health issues, and he invited me over to make sure that you were okay.
I mean, I twisted my ankle on the way down on that last vault, but I should be okay. It's nice to meet you. Kayleigh, you good here?
Yeah. Join us when you're ready.
We'll hustle off. Kind of repeatedly looking over my shoulder at the whole group that's there before I kind of disappear into some side room.
Okay. The father turns to you, Kayleigh, and says, Robbie here is a friend of mine. He's someone who's active in the community. And someone that you can be safe talking around.
I understand. I'm not injured in any way, Robbie. And I say that hesitantly because I'm like, my parents raised me to, call people by their titles, like Father Price. And it's weird to call a doctor something as a casual nickname for someone I've never met before. So I'm kind of really awkward right now. So there was something at the Sphere. Dante was performing, and we were there as guests. And there were a couple more of us that we were split up from, and they're at, and I'll just name whatever bar that I gave the directions to. I wasn't sure how many people that I might bring, and I'm still getting to know them. So if they decide to come by, I want it to be of their own volition.
The church is a place where we consider it a sanctuary for a reason. Well, all are welcome here, provided that they're not planning on being violent or being devious to upset the balance of the church.
Which is why I did not direct them here, because I don't know all of their intentions.
That sounds concerning, but I understand. I understand. So, Tutor, you're standing with Dante inside this space while he gets changed. And you realize very quickly, actually, that you're standing in the presence, like basically inside a node.
Oh.
Like the church is a node.
Oh, I see.
And so, like, you can feel all the disparate quintessence just like hanging around.
Hey, Dante. We haven't really gotten a chance to talk about the things that I should be teaching you by now.
Now, I don't know if now's the time to learn.
Oh, I think now's the time for a very specific lesson that might make you feel a little bit better. You've shut me out earlier when you needed to, but...
Nothing about this has made me feel better about anything.
So, your feelings are understandable. That being said, maybe feeling like you're capable of doing something to protect yourself or those around you, or just control things a little bit better, might make you more comfortable. And you know how we've talked about the energy that makes things up, and you've seen sort of the, patterns of what is around you before we've looked at that together?
I say as I bandage my ankle.
This place is very, very special for that. It is.
Oh, it's got God vibes? That's what you're telling me?
Well, no. I actually think that the church was very intentionally built here. So this place is built on something what we would call a node. It is where quintessence and the energies that make up everything are very strong. I mean, bountiful. You could recharge like a battery here if you needed to. Or if you wanted to, which who doesn't want to, but it's just dripping with energy. I honestly think you should look at it. I mean, it's like a magical Christmas tree in this place. Like the lights of Paris at night. You should really consider letting yourself look at this, even though I know you're scared right now.
Scared? Scared.
Earlier, you were talking about running away from your entire life as if you could leave magic in a coat check and run away from town. So scared seemed like the word to use.
I defy death on a daily basis. Fear is not the problem here.
Okay, then you tell me the emotions that you were feeling that made you flee from that room the way that you did, that made you flee from that hotel the way that you did, that made you consider dropping your entire life and running out of town. What were those emotions?
Because nothing makes sense anymore.
Okay.
And I need to find a way to make it make sense, because until now, my life made sense. I practiced the thing. I got good at the thing. I did the thing. It made sense. I could write a book on it. I could read a book on it. I could talk to someone who was also good at it, and our things would make sense. So basically, over the past, few days, I keep learning that none of this matters anymore. And I refuse to believe it.
It's not that it doesn't matter anymore. It's just that there's more to things. There's more to your world.
See, there it is. There it is. There is. I understand that you think that we're supposed to be part of some bigger puzzle, some more meaning, and this isn't enough for me, but it is. It is. I don't need more to be fulfilled.
I don't think you need more to be fulfilled. I just think that you are discovering that there is more to your world than what you were experiencing before. If this is what matters to you, great. We're the arbiters of what matters in our own personal lives. You can choose that this is what matters the most. But it's not that you can just ignore that you're a mage now. You can't just ignore that you are awake and you can see the rest of the world now.
Watch me. I continue lacing up my sock.
Do I overhear? Are they loud enough that I can hear it?
No.
Okay.
Because the conversation's happening with Dante's avatar, and so it's all happening mentally.
Well, to be fair, Dante talks. Dante vocalizes. He doesn't mentally speak. He hears, right? But he talks.
Okay. Then you're probably hearing Dante talk to himself or someone.
Okay.
So that would be true then for Robbie as well.
Yeah.
Dante, I know that's how you feel right now, and I cannot tell you how to feel. I mean, in a weird kind of gross way, I kind of could, but I'm not going to do that to you. But I need you to understand that for right now, you might want to choose to shut this out and to try to ignore it. But that's a good way as a mage to die. That's a good way to get just blotted off of this, tapestry and never exist, never have a fuller story.
Why would I die, though? That's what I don't... People keep saying, there's people that wanted to kill me. These people wanted to kill you, or these people recruited you. You're working for these people who wanted to kill you. Actually, no one's tried to kill me yet.
I don't think that anyone's actively trying to kill you, but I think that as a young, newly awakened person trying to ignore everything beyond yourself and just your normal, mundane, mortal existence, which again matters plenty, just is only a part of your life now, is a good way to fall into danger. I'm not saying that there's assassins waiting on the roof. I'm just saying that that's a really good way to get yourself hurt or killed. And you can choose to not have anything to do with it for right now and focus on what's next after this show and what you're going to do in the meantime. And you can give everyone, even the people who seem incredibly suspicious, as much charity and grace as you want. But at the end of the day, even as a performer, you know that only paying attention to where your choreography is and none of the choreography around you is a good way to bump into something you don't want to bump into.
Which is why I think it's worth actually talking to these people who I keep getting told about. Everybody's telling me about the people that hired me, except the people that hired me. So once I'm done here, I'm going to get some goddamn answers, and I'm going to get them my way.
Okay.
Okay, I will leave that scene there for just a moment. So in the bar that you go to, Oliver and Adam, you don't even see a church nearby.
She said church, right?
Right. She said church.
I mean, church can mean a lot of things.
Right.
I mean,
yes.
You don't think it was one of those weird, end of days things, like some bunker somewhere or something?
You know what? At this point, I don't even care.
You know what? Actually, I can bartender, 2 down here. I dig that.
And they get you set up. A couple of drinks pass. There is a story on the news that plays, the local news here at the bar, probably about 11 o'clock or so. And there is the report that in a post U2 concert party that was going on in a nearby hotel, that some of the guests may have pulled the fire alarm. And so there was a stampede and there were a bunch of people, some bumps and bruises. Nobody's seriously injured, but police are investigating the source of it.
Look at Oliver. Police are investigating.
No, I feel safer already.
Oh, I mean, I'm just sitting here as safe as houses. Downs a slug of his drink. Honestly, Oliver, all this, what do you think that giant electric golf ball out there is suddenly some freaky screaming lady?
That was really weird. I like how the news doesn't even mention that.
Well, everybody seemed to see it, but how could you not see it? That was shit your pants right fucking there in your face right there. But
right.
I don't know what the problem I'm having with it is the effect around it. If something's trying to get out, is it that big, or is that just like a big TV screen? I mean, and if it is that big and that powerful, what happens if it gets out? What if it hatches?
Oh. Who knows? Maybe, for all we know, maybe it's somebody trapped and trying to get out.
Like 100-foot tall woman?
Well, I mean, maybe it's only a 100-foot tall woman because a 100-foot tall screen.
You are such a buzzkill.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, we can't go around making guesses at what's going on till we know more.
Yeah, fair enough. Bartender, 2 more.
You get a couple more drinks. Back at the church, Dante, you've finished getting cleaned up. Are you taking the face paint off?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's we gotta get normal.
Okay. So while that goes on back in the sanctuary proper, Father Price looks at you, Kayleigh, and says, fairly certain that your friend is going to be okay. Does he normally talk to himself?
Yeah, it sure seems like it. Like he's having a legitimate, full conversation. I can only imagine it's similar to something that I experienced that I told you about.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm certain of it.
So I haven't really questioned it because that was what made the most sense.
He's looking for answers. Answers he feels he's entitled to, and it's possible he is. The nice part about having him here is that we might be able to provide him some of those answers. I'm certain that myself or Robbie could help out connect some of these dots for you and make sure you understand some things. I had been looking to have a longer conversation with you about some of this stuff, but you've been a little elusive.
I apologize, Father. As far as the other individuals, the reasons that I have concerns is that one of them is currently wanted by the police for questioning in regards to an explosion. And the other brought me to a crime scene that had a body that seemingly died due to unknown circumstances.
I saw your hand up, Funny. What'd you need?
If there's a node here, are there other avatars than me around?
Yes.
Since I can wander a little?
Yeah. There are other avatars here. There's some in the sanctuary right now.
I'm gonna, since Dante's efficiently shutting me out again, like he was in the Win, I'd kind of like to wander around and look at the other avatars that are here and kind of make my way in, even if it mostly means creeping on the conversation that's going on between the father and Kayleigh right now.
Yeah, so for Kayleigh right now, what you see is that her form has like an outline to it, but you don't see any specific avatar. Mm-hmm. As far as Father Price goes, his avatar, he appears to have this like this cloak on. It's sort of like a vestment perhaps or something that he's wearing over it, but there is sort of this image almost of a ghostly white fabric that's draped on him, and you can see it swirl and sort of move around his body. It does seem to recognize that you're in the area. And then as far as Robbie goes, Skip, please let us know what Robbie's avatar looks like.
It would look more like I would say a Knight of the Round Table's armor that just kind of surrounds Robbie, turns when he turns, looks up, looks down whenever Robbie moves. And it's kind of a mixture of gold and silver that just kind of fluctuate between the two as he's talking.
Interesting. Tudor is just going to sit down on a pew and just kind of watch this conversation unfold because it sounds like the father knows some things.
Dante, you finish up taking your makeup off and you get changed. You're good to go.
Back in the warm-ups. Throw the tennies back on and flash myself my best insincere smile in the mirror, and then head back out to the church.
Okay. You head back out into the sanctuary. You see that the group is still collected roughly in the same space. The father is sitting down now, though, on one of the pews.
I don't know if I need to roll. So I do have injury boxes, technically hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you wanted me to make a roll for bandaging myself up, or does it matter?
I don't think functionally it matters at this point.
Okay. I think I'm just bruised, hurt, so I'll recover anyway. But,
you will, but
yeah.
Your bruises, your bandages will show likely from you walking out. So that is something that
obvious.
You'd key in on, Robbie, as Dante comes back into the sanctuary area. He's got bandages on.
I was going to do just look at him and see if there's any, outstanding injuries or anything like that I could tell.
His life pattern's damaged. You can tell that with life 1.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But anything more than that, and you'll probably want to start talking about what focuses you're using to sense, because we play by all them rules as well.
Yeah, approach the group again. Yeah,
the father reaches behind one of the pews he's at and produces a cold bottle of water for you.
Oh, thanks.
No problem.
Is this holy?
Do you want it to be? He smirked.
Is that a thing?
Sure. He reaches out and grabs the bottle. He says it does come at a slight cost to you, though. I need your help.
Okay.
He reaches his open hand out to you. I need you to pray with me.
I look at Kayleigh. Sure. Put my hand out and take his.
He takes it. It's a very gentle hand. It's likely the hand of someone who has shook hands and prayed with people countless times over their lifetime. And he says, in the name of the one which watches off all of us, which speaks through me in these words, then may this water replenish your thirst this lifetime and the next. And he hands you the bottle. It is the weirdest Catholic prayer you've ever heard. You're not even sure it's Catholic.
I feel like I would know it's not Catholic.
Did it seem like he did anything?
Oh yeah, absolutely. There was a mystical effect. Absolutely. So Prime got used, and then so did Life.
So I say, "Amen?" ? Hold the bottle.
Course.
Hold the bottle. Cheers.
Hey.
And I down it because I'm so thirsty.
Okay, fantastic. So you can heal 3 boxes of damage.
Well, kind of sputter a bit.
You feel the water enter your body, and then you feel your body start to get knitted back together.
Ooh.
Like you feel that image again in your mind appear of your body and the superimposing image of what is the proper pattern for it to be. And you watch as the water just goes into all these different cells, not only hydrating you, but like stitching tissues back together.
Dante will slow roll into a pew.
I'm going to get right behind Dante, just right behind his ear. Was that the best bottle of water of your life?
Thank you for that.
So, Father, I don't mean to be blunt, but why are we here?
You're here because I was greatly concerned about what I felt and in part what I heard tonight. I was overcome with sense that there was a woman in pain, screaming in utter anger.
That's exactly what happened. It happened at the Sphere, and we were there. That's where Dante was performing.
I saw the large, older woman on the Sphere itself after I heard the scream.
It does seem that there are some things which need explaining. I can do my best. There are some things that perhaps Robbie here could shed light on as well. I want to first make sure that we agree to not color any of your current views. It's important for me that you understand that I'm not trying to impress a worldview on you.
Okay.
Sure this is the Catholic Church? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's very funny.
So, who was she? How did she get here? Where did she come from?
I don't know.
So that was magic.
Yes.
I mean, I like hold up the water bottle.
That too.
So you're like, no.
Yes, I'm awake. I am an awakened mage. Much like Robbie here. Much like Kayleigh. Much like you.
You've come to a great place for answers, Dante. You may not believe it now.
I don't even know what kind of questions to ask.
Any question.
All right.
This is a place of healing. This is a place of learning. This is a place of sanctuary, if you want to make it that way.
All right. Then why did that shrieking bitch ruin my set?
I believe that this spirit is angry, was trapped by what I don't know. But I will aim to find out, to understand.
I guess the real question is why then? What was so special about that? Why then? That. Look, I dig into my bag and I pull out my book, like my routine, like as it's choreographed, and I will hold it out to him. This portion of the set, this moment, this right here. Do note all of the asterisks. Do note all the importance laid on this piece right here. I don't believe in coincidences, Father.
I can appreciate your perspective, but I will ask you to guard yourself against hubris.
Who what?
Against the thought that because something happened when something was important was happening for you, that it was happening to you or because of you. That correlation does not necessarily imply causation. It is unfortunate, seemingly you put time and effort into this art and this awakening, this transformation you have gone through has only made that journey more complex. Add to it a tumultuous evening with this spirit deciding to rear its head in our midst. It would be very easy to see that it was perhaps something you did.
So it following me into my dressing room is also a coincidence.
I can't say. I don't know. I don't know its intent yet. It is possible that the spirit simply sought out someone with a very strong avatar. And you have that. I can feel it. I can see her. And so it is possible that the spirit was simply following the strongest source. Spirits do tend to do that. They link, they hunt, they look for energy just like you and I. They just do it in a different way.
So this woman is a spirit then?
That's my belief, yes. I don't believe that there are any 100-foot tall women around. He looks at you, Robbie. You haven't seen any, have you?
Not recently, no.
Hey, Dante. Dante, would you do me a favor? Would you tell the Father that he reminds me of a faithful singer in a
Tell
chorus?
him yourself.
I need you to say that
No.
way.
I am not your mouthpiece. Use your words.
I guess I'll use mind through Dante to say that to the Father.
Okay.
Since he doesn't want to be my mouthpiece, I'll make Dante my mouthpiece for a second, I guess.
I like this idea. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to roll Dante's Arate, but I'm assuming that Dante's going to resist this attempt to become your puppet. And so I'd like you to roll, I'd like Dante to roll an opposed willpower roll to sort of feel it coming and then be able to shut it down if that's what you want to do.
Actually, what I would like to do, because I'm a bastard, I will reflexively use my own mind shield to wall her out from the power she's trying to use on me. So I will force her to shield me from the power she's trying to use on me.
Okay. So there won't be a roll then. You go to do it and you hit a wall when you reach for his mind. You do it reflexively, Dante, because you feel it as like an oncoming attack. And so the wall goes up out of reflex. Something came at you. You're not sure what it is.
Dante, you said that you wouldn't speak for me and then you wouldn't let me speak. Which is it?
You've appeared before. You can do it again. You said this is a place dripping with God power.
For you.
Show yourself, heathen.
Father Price looks at you a little strange.
Sorry.
Are you having a conversation with someone who's not here?
There's a brat in my ear who really, really wants me to look at your god dust.
I didn't even say that. I wanted you to tell him that he reminds your avatar of a faithful singer in a chorus. He doesn't hear me. I'm in your head. Dante.
It's not as
pretty
it's
boy,
not as simple
with me.
to hear another person's avatar. I would have to be deeply connected to you and your energy for that to even potentially transfer through.
The last time I was able to interact with my avatar was because I expended quintessence to do so. Do I see Tudor there, all up in my business?
Sure.
I'm going to grab Tudor by the wrist, and I would like to spend a point of quintessence to force her to manifest if I can.
That sounds fun. Roll Arte. And what focus are you using to do this? What's your prime focus to do this?
I mean, I don't have one. That's the problem, right? I keep getting told about the energy of the universe and all. Like, I don't have one. So I'm like, energy is here. I've been told energy is here. So at this point, all I have is what I have, right? My juice. And if we're shared, then I don't really know how to focus it. So what does working without a focus even look like for me?
I mean, it's an increased difficulty.
Yeah, so I guess that's what happens. I don't really know that, but I'm mad, so I will spend a willpower to make it happen.
Fantastic. I knew we'd get there. So something sort of strange happens in the room, Kayleigh and Robbie. It almost looks like for just a moment that Dante tries to grab his own wrist. Like he tries to grab himself. And then there's almost this hunt. And it reminds the both of you of a very specific cartoon. And that's Peter Pan. And Peter Pan grabs his own shadow. And you see this poof of dust when a wrist appears, like that Dante has a hand on now. And I think what we should do, Tudor, is have you describe what Tudor looks like, because now you're being forced to manifest.
So this roughly 6 foot tall woman with waist long braided hair, who I'm just going to go with how she's been looking for Dante since Dante's making this happen. So dressed like a personal trainer from a gym, is standing there with her wrist being held by Dante.
Specifically like Olivia Newton-John in the physical video with the leg warmers.
Yes.
Awesome.
And a headband, because he likes headbands on physical trainers.
Love that for you.
So this physical trainer appears. She looks a concerned look, but you can tell that pride is definitely there. She's very proud of him and she's trying to hide it.
The father sort of stands up from his pew.
Dante hasn't opened his eyes yet.
Well done, pretty boy. Father, I'm sorry for this trouble. I was just trying to tell him that you reminded me of a faithful singer from a chorus. And I was curious if that meant anything to you. And he would not say that for me. So here I am. Hello, Father. Also, hello, Robbie and Kayleigh.
Hello.
Nice to see you. And you see me back.
So, Kayleigh, this is a lot.
Oh, yeah. Well, and the thing is that it's a lot, but at the same time, I'm more confused because my avatar can just manifest. Everyone can see my avatar at any given time. So the fact that there was like this significant effort that had to be put in for me to see another avatar is shocking and confusing because I thought that avatars were all essentially the same, that they could just manifest at will.
Well, you have learned something new this evening. I'm going to leave this group just right here for a second. I'm going to go back to the bar. Adam and Oliver, you smell clove cigarettes.
Wow, who's smoking inside?
You look inside and you see a familiar face. And that's Salvatore.
Oh. Hey, look at that.
Gesture for another drink for Salvatore and the stool near us.
He walks over, sits down. Gentlemen.
What a coincidence.
I don't believe in him, but sure. How's life in the awakened world treating you so far?
Oh, you know, strikes and gutters.
Terrifying. You?
Undoubtedly. You hear anything this evening? He sort of rings and puts his fingers in his ear and gestures really hard.
How could you not?
Yeah, it's got the boys with all the black hats and the mirror shades real concerned.
Oh, so it wasn't them either. Because I was kind of wondering if that was maybe like a scare tactic or something.
No. Totally out of school for those folks. Everything there is process, order, execution.
So they are system. They're order.
Yeah.
Adam sloshes a little bit of his drink in his glass. Oliver, I know you're trying to lay low, but maybe we go poke around the sphere.
Oh, I don't know about that. That seems really dangerous.
He sloshes with drink, doesn't it?
How many of you had, man?
That doesn't matter. I don't really get that drunk. I'm just, he counts the glasses. 3?
I think you should steer clear of the sphere for a little while. That's just my advice.
Oh, yeah, I bet they have all those guys are poking around over there themselves, trying to figure out what happened.
You bet. And if they are already looking for you for any number of reasons, Oliver, then, you may want to continue that whole steering clear thing.
Mm-hmm.
I got tapped on the shoulder by a local chorister, and I figured I'd check in with you and see if everything was okay.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part.
Yeah? You guys find a home yet, or are you still slumming it?
Well, I found a place.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm a little leery to go back to mine, but
No, not like a place to live, but like a place to do your work.
Oh. Yeah, no.
What was that place you work at? Was it Life on Mars?
Life on Mars. I really don't want Carlos to fire me, but I mean, I'll get away with what I can get away with.
Wait, why would he fire you?
Let's just say Carlos does not like chaos, but I'm a huge fan. But, I mean, if Life on Mars is my place, that's fine. I do know it backwards and forwards.
So, you've been reading the book, yes?
Yeah.
Trying to understand about what goes on.
Mm-hmm.
The BS that the rest of the folks here carry around with them. Stay on it. Even if you've joined up with somebody else, even if you've decided to walk a traditional path, just remember that there's a ton of viewpoints, and enlightenment comes in all sorts of ways. One of the ways might be sometimes a little antithetical to what you're used to, but doesn't mean it can't get the job done. Because at the end of the day, if you're trying to grow what you've got, you're going to have to go up against that voice in your head. That's where this all eventually leads to. He finishes his drink. I appreciate that, gentlemen. Listen, stay safe. He tucks like a lucky rabbit's foot in your pocket, like in your leather jacket pocket, Oliver. Keep that on you. You never know when it might come in useful. He turns to you, Adam, and hands you a deck of cards. I know you probably have cards. Everybody in Vegas has cards, but you do not have these cards. He presses them into your hand. And the deck of cards is like from the 50s. And it's not a name you regularly see anymore around here. Normally, most of the cards that you get in Vegas are bicycle cards, right? Or they're specific brands. These are Hoyle.
Ooh, these are nice. Are you sure you want to give these up?
I think they're a good fit for you.
Adam takes them out and does a quick shuffle.
They're pretty smooth.
To be somewhat expert. He worked the street more than once, so I like them. Thanks.
All right, gentlemen. He lights another clove, and you see like waitresses around here sort of turn and look like, who the hell is smoking in here? Because you're not allowed to smoke in bars unless there's a casino. And so there's a lot of really strange rules in Vegas about where you can smoke and where you can't. And he just doesn't give two shits about any of that, and he just walks on out the door.
Must be nice.
Right?
So, at the church.
Dante, is this...
Tutor.
Okay, so you're like Mr. B? Is that...
Yeah.
Okay, but you're...
Also, Mr. B's trick, very cool.
Which trick?
Being able to actually manifest for all of you when Mr. B wants to, rather than just when this happens. Very cool. I'm not jealous often, but that is a trick that I like very much.
So that's not common.
No.
Oh.
Also, Robbie, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to call you that. Doctor, very cool armor. I don't get to say things like that to people's face very often, so I thought I'd let you know.
Thank you. Tutor it is?
Yes.
It is a pleasure to meet you.
It was a pleasure to meet you as well. Father, are you a singer?
That's sort of an old term. Anachronistic.
I'm sort of an old lady.
Many spirits are. I'm a member of the Celestial Chorus, yes.
That seemed right for this place and for you.
Came to it after a fashion. I didn't officially awaken until late in my 20s. Many come to magic much earlier.
But not often at the same time as the other people, right?
Yes, very rare. It was one of the things that I first noticed about Kayleigh after she came to, Sunday service afterwards. I could tell something had changed. I pay attention to the congregation, what they're going through, what they need. We're a very small church, and we have to be very careful about what we do for them in that way.
So is our congregation, like, full?
What do you mean full?
Like, of people like us?
No. No, awakened members of awakened society are very rare. You and I are the only ones in the congregation who are awakened. Robbie, when he attends. That is it. And even then, we would be considered rather busy. 2 or 3 members in the same working area. The talents and gifts you have are vastly rare.
Tudor looks very wistful at the idea of a church managing to have a whole awakened congregation. Just that many awakened in the same place, all working together and getting along, and as a community. What a notion.
I can imagine that this has been quite a shock to you since all this began.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
Mine was interesting, but just have faith. You're going to navigate the waters. It just takes time. It takes belief. It takes guidance in some certain circumstances. And as I was telling Dante a little while ago, this is a good place to begin to seek those answers. Dante, you seem to be blessed with someone who can guide you through it as well, as we have seen this evening. So take advantage of that. Don't be afraid to be scared, or don't be afraid to take chances when you have to. Just keep focused and you will learn.
I appreciate the sentiment, Robbie. But honestly, the past few days have been a lot of people just kind of telling me things. But the things I need to know right now are, what is this going to mean for my family? What is this going to mean for the life that we've tried to put together for them? And if I'm somehow, if you ask basically anybody I've talked to at this point about this stuff, I should be concerned because the people I'm working for aren't trustworthy, or I shouldn't trust them. And yet I'm supposed to take all this on faith. And I gestured to the church and you and Tudor, everybody but Kayleigh, really. I gestured at literally everything around except Kayleigh. And you know what? My entire life has been built on regiment, practice, no small amount of guidance, no small amount of teaching and training. So I get it. I need to talk to the people who know what I need to learn. And what I need right now is answers. And they're not answers, sadly, that I don't think you or the Father, generous as you all have been, can give me.
I would need to know what the questions were.
You didn't hire me, Father. You can't tell me what's going to happen to my family if I quit my job or if I stop performing for these people that I'm working for.
Dante?
Yeah.
If I may.
Sure, yeah, you can speak on your own. You always do.
Yeah, but I know you're not always the most receptive to that lately, pretty boy, so I'm trying to work with you. I think that maybe the advice of awakened that have been around, especially in this city, longer than you have, might be wise, because while I know you want answers from the people who hired you, and I'm not going to stop you from asking them as well, maybe we could bring some of our concerns up to these lovely people who might know a bit more. They do have an understanding of the current landscape a little bit better than I do.
Now who's scared?
I'm not scared, I'm seeking wisdom.
Just like an avatar. So...
Always.
I agree. I don't know your situation. I didn't hire you, and I can't tell you what will happen with your family. if those are your major concerns, if you are concerned about, rightly so, what will happen to them, then I agree you should get to the bottom of it. The church is here to support you as best it can. It has done so in a small way tonight. It would be happy to do so in the future. To that end, perhaps if you need to go seek answers, it would be good to have the resolute assistance of someone who knows what it's like to be in tough situations. The doctor here is not just a medical doctor. He's been in and out of some difficult situations. I have relied on him before.
Look, Kayleigh volunteered to come with me, and if you really think that you can help Robbie, I think that's great, and I would say sure. I mean, I welcome the help, honestly. But I just want to make sure that just like I said to the father, my priorities are what they are. My family is the most important thing in my life. So if I have to make concessions for them, much as I always have, then I will.
Family can be a lot of things, but for many of us, it is as top priority as it gets. So I encourage you to get your answers you need and inquire after you're ready with us here, and perhaps we can teach you something, a little bit of something about what you have already.
Do you have like a donation box somewhere I could stuff an envelope in or something?
It's near the front. That's what you'd like. If you're going to go and get answers, take Robbie with you in case someone becomes unfriendly.
I size Robbie up.
He's 6'3", 240-ish pounds. Yeah, 230. Yeah. He holds his weight and size really well. He has a good stance for someone who's not standing in a stance. He has something about him that gives you that feeling of protective energy.
Sure. All right. Kayleigh, you're still coming, right?
I plan to, but I have a lot more questions for the father. So if this is something you're doing immediately, it might be best for you to take Robbie, and I'll catch up if I can, if that's okay.
It's also it's quite late. Most businesses would not be open anymore. Do you think that doctor who injected you with quintessence and that other lady that we're trying to track down are really going to just be available right now?
You mean my agent? Yeah. I don't want to talk to that doctor.
In the middle of the night?
Without question. I promise you she's working.
Okay.
Obviously, I don't know the whole story if there's a doctor involved. Now my curiosity is really piqued.
Doctor, father, I'm a little out of the loop. The Technocratic Union.
You see the father's eyes get real big.
I believe that Dante's agent might be Syndicate, if they're still called that. And I believe that the doctor that she hired to give a physical to him, who injected him with the cleanest, squeakiest quintessence I've ever seen in my lifetimes, might be are they still called progenitors?
Yes.
I think that's what we're dealing with, and I don't want you to go into that not knowing what we're dealing with.
Well, to give you a lay of the land locally, certainly tradition mages such as myself don't necessarily associate with members of the technocracy, as we would call them. That doesn't mean that we're at war anymore in the traditional sense of the past few decades. Most of that has subsided for various reasons. But that doesn't mean that they don't still try to convert aggressively. And there could be any number of reasons why they might have sought to put something inside of you, Dante. If that did happen, perhaps Robbie here could take a look at take a look at you medically and see if there is something he could do about it.
I mean, I feel fine.
Dante, hasn't your pattern been a little bit different ever since that doctor's appointment?
I feel fine.
One thing at a
Whenever you feel comfortable.
As for now, I need to speak with Kayleigh on a private matter.
Sure. And again, I really appreciate the warm welcome and everything. And I am sure I'll be back. Got a real nice place here, Father.
It's small, but effective.
I do like a side long glance at Kayleigh. So I'm gonna try to figure out what's going on. I guess let me know when you're clear.
Yeah, I'll send you a text.
Thank you.
Of course.
For everything. Actually, could you do me a favor?
If I'm capable.
I need you to hold on to this for me, and I will offer her my duffel.
Okay. And I'll take it cautiously. Is there a particular reason?
Yes. The second most important thing in my life is inside.
Okay.
This is probably the safest place for her, for now.
Oh.
Okay.
I think on that note, I'm going to call this episode to a close. So I want to thank Skip, our backer, for joining us and playing Robbie. We'll hear more from Robbie in the coming episodes. And I want to thank you, our listeners, for enjoying, hopefully, this episode of Mage, the Ascension of Babylon, our Mage, the Ascension series. And so with that, I will say thank you and good night.